and this is one of the more important things. You see this right here? You see this right here? This is Caitlin's agent. This is Caitlin Clark's agent.
What happens when one agent makes a move so bold it sends shockwaves through the entire WNBA? Caitlin Clark's latest career twist isn't just surprising, it's changing the game in ways no one saw coming. There's a picture that tells a story, one that the cameras didn't quite capture, but the implications could shake the very foundation of the WNBA. While the spotlight stayed fixed on Caitlin Clark exchanging a few words with the New York Liberty Stars, the real narrative was playing out just beside her. Standing close, intentional, and fully aware of the message being sent was her agent, Erin Kane. And that wasn't just any post-game chat, it was the opening move of a strategic chess match that could redefine the WNBA as we know it. This isn't just about dissatisfaction or team dynamics. It's about leverage. It's about power. It's about a once-in-a-generation player being strategically positioned by one of the most influential agents in sports to do more than change teams. This could change the league. Let's rewind and follow the trail that brought us to this moment.
I'm ready to go.
I think you're just excited more than anything. It gets kind of difficult when you prepare for a game. Obviously, when I'm on the bench, still knowing the scout, knowing everything that the other team's going to do, and still trying to mentally prepare and go through everything like I'm going to play, even though I knew I wasn't going to play. So, doing that, but also knowing I was going to be able to be active today, I think gives you a little extra juice. So I'm certainly excited just to get back out there, get playing, and really good opportunity for us at home here, coming off of a loss. So
all season, warning signs have been flashing in Indiana. Caitlin Clark, a star praised for her toughness and consistency, has missed 10 games, 5 due to a quad injury and another 5 with groin issues. That alone is significant. But what's more revealing is how those injuries were handled. Following Clark's groin injury, she sat on the bench emotional and visibly in pain. Yet, her coach, Stephanie White, downplayed it to the media, describing it as Clark feeling a little something. A phrase like that might seem harmless, but in the world of elite athletes, language matters. That dismissive tone not only revealed a disconnect between the coaching staff and their franchise player, but sparked deeper questions. Was Caitlin's health and long-term performance truly a priority for the team? That was the moment. The emotional and strategic rift became real. On the court, the tension has been just as noticeable. Clark, whose effectiveness thrives in transition and with the ball in her hands, made it clear what she needed. Better offensive schemes that utilize her strengths. Her words weren't critical, they were clinical. There's a fine balance of playing me off the ball and also getting the ball in my hands. That's when I'm the best in transition. Instead of adapting to maximize her potential, Coach White doubled down on a system that deliberately keeps the ball out of her hands.
Level of physicality that they're able to play with against her. I knew it as an opponent, and I see it as her coach. I'm not exactly sure why, but it just is what it is. And we've got to help her learn to adjust and use it against them in certain ways. We've got to find some ways to make it a little bit easier for her. But the level of physicality overall in our league has been at a different level than it's been for a long time.
The result? Frustration, public comments, and most importantly, a call to her agent. The power play begins. That's where Erin Kane enters the scene, not in a backroom negotiation or a phone call, but right there, in public, in the tunnel, next to the reigning champions and their core stars. That photo wasn't just about optics, it was a deliberate, strategic signal. Clark isn't alone. She's backed by a powerhouse agent and an entire player movement simmering just under the surface. Erin Kane represents more than just Caitlin Clark. As part of XL Sports Management, she has her hands in the biggest negotiations in women's basketball. And now she's making moves that go beyond one player. They're aimed at reshaping the league's very rules. The real weapon, the CBA. Here's where it gets even more intriguing. The WNBA is in the middle of negotiating a new collective bargaining agreement, CBA.
We have just seen the New York Liberty players after the game meeting up with Caitlin Clark. It is Stewie, it is Sabrina Ionescu, there is Sandy Brondolo. And by the way, Stewie is not leaving New York the rest of her career. That is one thing that I will be 99% sure of. That Stewie is not leaving. New York. Sabrina is not going to leave New York. I think there is a 50-50 chance Caitlin Clark leaves Indiana after her rookie season.
For those unfamiliar, think of the CBA as the league's constitution. It dictates how long teams control player contracts, salary caps, trade clauses, and player movement. Right now, those rules are up for revision, and that's where Kane's real play begins. Caitlin Clark is on a rookie contract. She technically can't hit free agency until 2028, but Kane isn't playing by the old rules. She's trying to change Ty. He rules. By turning Clark's dissatisfaction into a league-wide conversation, she creates pressure. She adds urgency. And in those closed-door meetings between the league and the players' union, her influence grows. She can now push for shorter rookie contracts, more flexible trade conditions, and player empowerment tools that give athletes a voice in where and how they play. This isn't about immediate action. It's about long-term positioning. But wait, there's more to this timeline than just Clark. In 2026, a massive shift is coming. According to insider reports, nearly 88% of current WNBA All-Stars will hit unrestricted free agency in that year. That's an unprecedented number. A mass migration of talent with no restrictions, no matching clauses, pure player-driven movement.
Comes to the vendors in the arena, the shops in the arena, they're not going to have the same amount of people patronize their business as they would if Caitlin Clark was there. The surrounding restaurants, the surrounding areas, the surrounding attractions, they're not going to have the same number of people patronize their business as they would if Caitlin Clark was.
If Kane succeeds in creating more lenient contract terms and opening pathways to earlier movement, Clark's situation becomes the test case, the precedent. Every star player watching this unfold will take notes. And if they like what they see, they'll use those same tools to choose their futures too. We're not looking at just one move. We're witnessing the rise of a superstar-led league revolution. With all this momentum building, the Indiana Fever find themselves trapped. They have two choices, and both are bad. Option 1, ignore the issue and risk a public fallout with their most marketable player.
This is her fourth upper leg injury on her other leg.
It's difficult to see Clark holding back tears.
And we want to see Caitlin Clark ball.
A move like that would tank their image and alienate fans. Option 2, quietly cooperate, engage in negotiations earlier than planned, and try to reach a long-term compromise before the situation escalates. But even that could be exactly what Kane wants. Because a negotiated exit, or even just the possibility of one, creates the perception that players like Clark can choose their path, well before the rules say they can. That's not just a change, that's a new era. This isn't just business, it's a blueprint. If you zoom out, what you'll see is a carefully mapped 3-step strategy. Create the public pressure. That ton-on. El Photo wasn't random, it was precision messaging designed to stir conversation and fuel speculation. Leverage the ongoing CBA, use the current dissatisfaction to push for structural changes in the league, especially around rookie contracts and free agency rights.
Caitlin Clark grab her groin after making this play to Kelsey Mitchell, the backdoor play that we've grown accustomed to seeing, and just like that, boom, grabbing the groin, clearly in pain.
A lot of people feeling the pain on.
Force the shift in power. Let Indiana either implode under the pressure or adapt to the new reality that the player, not the team, calls the shots. This is more than a negotiation. It's a power move, and if it works, it won't just shift Caitlin Clark to a new team like the Liberty. It will set off a domino effect that reshapes how every star in the league views their power. Aaron Kane's presence next to Caitlin Clark that day wasn't just a coincidence. It was a declaration. It said, loud and clear, that this is no longer a league where teams hold all the cards. The CBA is being reimagined. Player empowerment is being written into the DNA of the league, and Clark, perhaps unintentionally, has become the symbol of that shift. The game has changed, and this might just be the biggest play in WNBA history. What do you think about Caitlin Clark's agent pulling off this bold move? Could this reshape the entire WNBA? Let us know in the comments below. We're reading them all. And if you don't want to miss the next major shakeup in women's basketball, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.